No way.
What's going on, guys? Luke here, back with a brand new video. Today I have something extremely rare and very exciting. As you can see by the title, the Black Platinum Tiempo Legend VII. These are currently unreleased and there are only 100 pairs of this colorway worldwide, and I was lucky enough to get sent one of them by Nike. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys what's inside the box, give you close-ups on the shoe, talk about the release, and give some general tech specs on the Tiempo Legend VII, which we can expect to see in the coming week. First, let's go over the box. The actual design is a matte black finish with a reflective Nike sign in check. The tag simply says Tiempo Legend VII FG, which is exactly what they are. Nothing special for the actual limited edition release. Now let's get inside the box. The first thing you find in the box is this little booklet which reads Tiempo. I'm not going to go over everything inside of it, but if you flip through it, you can see a lot of the tech specs about the shoe, as well as some product drawings, which I think is pretty interesting personally. Also, something else you want to note is that gold and black colorway is actually going to be the release color we'll be seeing in about a week's time. I think it's pretty cool. I'll put a picture of the actual shoe right here. Alright, next up, let's look at the bag. Normally, I don't even bother with boot bags, but this one is pretty special. The bag itself reads, Nike Football Tiempo Black Platinum. The coolest part is that it has property of blank and pair number blank, so you can actually go ahead and fill in your name and what pair number you have. I have pair 39 out of 100. Again, I do feel extremely lucky to have these in my collection, and a huge shout out to Nike for sending them over. This literally is going to be the pride and joy of my collection back home. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I have quite a few boots, and this one is going to be properly displayed for all to see. Now let's get to what you're waiting for, the boots themselves. Alright, here are the Black Platinum Tiempo Legend VII in all their glory. I'm going to be honest, I think this is a fantastic looking shoe, and I think a lot of people are with me on that. Genuinely, a blackout Tiempo with silver accents and this amazing platinum sole plate honestly doesn't get much better than that. The Tiempo is a long-time favorite of mine. I've worn the Silo since the 3rd generation, all the way up to what is now the 7th generation with this shoe. Now let's go over the new tech in this shoe, because there sure is a ton of it. First up, I want to talk about probably the most dramatic change, the incorporation of Flyknit in this design. Over the past few years, Nike has done a ton with the material called Flyknit, as you probably know from the Magista and the Superfly Silos. Well, they finally incorporated onto the Tiempo. As you can see here, the back portion of the shoe is all Flyknit. There still is plenty of leather in the forefoot, as getting rid of that would pretty much be sacrilege, as the Tiempo is Nike's heritage silo. The leather is kangaroo leather, of course, and it feels very soft and plush. The design is a little different than last generation, and honestly, it feels a little bit thicker. Next up, let's talk about one of the coolest features on this particular shoe, the sole plate. This is named the Hyper Stability Plate, and it incorporates a mixture of conical studs as well as a few bladed ones. It's definitely more aggressive than last generations if you compare them side by side, but overall I think it's going to offer a pretty similar feel to last gen. It definitely is more aggressive though. The studs in the back are a lot sharper, and you definitely have more bladed studs throughout. Another really interesting part of the new Tiempo is the Flyknit tongue. This specifically is a big change from last gen because it's a one-piece design. The tongue is technically sewn into the upper all the way up, which I'm honestly a pretty big fan of. Back in the Tiempo Legend V, I used to have problems all the time when the tongue would kind of slide over on my foot, and this will definitely get rid of that. Now let's go over the Flywire. Flywire was a material first introduced in the Mercurial Vapor 5 and Superfly 1, made to keep your foot into the shoe when you tighten the laces. Well, Nike's been using it ever since, and this is the first time I believe it's been used on a Tiempo. I believe there are 3 points of Flywire on each side of the shoe in the top 3 lace holes. Again, the point of that is when you tighten the shoe, it locks down your foot in place. There you have it, that's all my information on the all-new Tiempo Legend VII. Do keep in mind, a lot of the info I talk about in this video is tech specs, so take it with a grain of salt, as a lot of times companies will do that to make their shoes look better. That being said, I think the Tiempo Legend VII is the real deal, and I can't wait to see what kind of colorways they come out with in the future. I'm personally excited about the inclusion of Flyknit in the design, and I think overall it's a real winner. In other news regarding my fake cleats video, I have ordered the cleats, but they're going to take a little while to come in the mail as they're coming all the way over from China. I'm not going to tell you which pair I got to save it for a surprise, but just keep in mind it might be a few weeks before that video comes up. And lastly, some really good news is, a few of you might know I lost my luggage coming home from London, and I actually didn't think I was getting it back, but for the first time I heard from it today, and that was literally when it arrived at my doorstep. So I have my computer back, and I have all my jerseys and other clothes back. And the best thing is I can now make another video from London, as a lot of my footage was saved on that computer. That's it for me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I'm Luke, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, guys.